Good morning, everyone. So today the third lesson we are doing revision number 3. You can see the screen, and last 2 weeks we did revision number 1 and 2. There are a few questions left in those papers also. First I'll discuss the MCQs of this paper, and if any one of your friends unable to join because this meeting maximum 100 participants, you can join with the YouTube channel and watch if any one of your friends unable to join, right? And parallel to this, there will be a single medium session also. That also we broadcast to the official YouTube channel. Now, first class or first lesson we discussed about the grade 10 first term work, most of from chapter 1 to 6, and then second class we did discuss about the theory of your grade 10 syllabus from chapter 16 to 14, some from 7 to 14, and today mainly from the second term and third term work. So there are 20 MCQs of this paper. If you have not got this paper, you can request to your school teacher, or maybe you can request from one of your friend, or if there's no way of getting, you can send a WhatsApp request message to the number that I have given to you, right? Question number 1. So this is from equilibrium of forces. So in your syllabus, there are two forces, equilibrium and equilibrium of three forces, right? So this one you can see there's a frame picture hanging on the wall. There are three forces, P, Q and W. First statement is correct, they are all on the same plane. Remember, all our syllabus, you don't get whether two forces or three forces. All the questions that you get in, they will be on the same plane. Same. Sometimes we call them coplanar forces. Forces that are on the same plane called coplanar forces. So therefore, the first statement is correct. Those who have done this paper, you can mark with the red pen the answers. First statement is correct. Second statement, sum of the forces. So this second statement B, you have to be very careful, because what matters here whether the forces are parallel or non-parallel. Right? So here inclined forces, they are not parallel to each other. If P and Q parallel only, you can take this second statement correct. So therefore second statement is wrong because of the word sum. So if this was resultant, then it would be correct. Because of sum, it's wrong. So how to correct this statement? The resultant of P and Q. Look at the screen carefully. If I mark the forces P and Q parallel to each other, then you can add and get the sum of those two to get the resultant. So if there are two forces like this, if they are parallel to each other, then you can get the sum of these two to get the resultant. Look at the screen here, three forces parallel. So the other one, the given question is, this is non-parallel or inclined forces. So if they are parallel, then you can get the sum of these two parallel. Sum of P and Q will be equal to W. So this is very important to understand. So why B is wrong? Because of sum. So actually the correct word here, the resultant of P and Q. Here it should be resultant of P and Q. That means if P is 5 Newton and Q also 5 Newton, you can't tell P plus Q equal W. That is wrong. P plus Q equal W, that is wrong. But when they are parallel, you can tell P plus Q equal to W. That means if P equal 5 Newton and Q also 5 Newton, then the resultant will be 15 Newton. That is W. So the resultant is equal to W. So if I mark the resultant lies in between these two. So exactly against W. So the resultant will be here 10 Newton. 10 Newton. So the resultant is opposite to W and equal in magnitude. Resultant of P and Q 10. I put R resultant of P and Q. But here the resultant of P and Q will not be equal to, in the second diagram given question, the resultant may not be equal to, R is not equal to, R is equal to W, but R is not equal to 10 Newton. That is very important to understand. Therefore, we have to get the resultant of these two. Resultant of these two. So if you take this one, if you direct in this direction, and this one you can direct in this direction, then you can get, there will be the resultant of P and Q will be W. R is equal to W. So therefore B is wrong. C. Resultant of P and Q act against W. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. So the correct statement A and C. Please raise the hand before I tell the answer. Those who got only A and C correct, how many of you got A and C only correct? Please raise the hand. Only A and C correct. Answer is second. Question number 1, answer is second. Very good. Around 22 students raise the hand. Very good. Right. So this is under equilibrium of forces. So please write again. If the forces are parallel, then the resultant is equal to this sum. That is the first diagram. I'll highlight. If you want, you can make a rough sketch of this diagram in your writing book. If the forces are parallel, I'll highlight this red. So if the forces are parallel, then the result to the sum of the parallel forces. If they are parallel. If they are non-parallel, that is the second diagram. I'll highlight this again. Better copy down this if you are not good in this section. And I'll highlight the other one, green, blue. So this is the one given here. Okay. Then next question. Question number 2. Question number 2. What is the pressure applied on the fish at 0.5 meters depth by water? You are given the density and the gravitational acceleration. This is how you do it. I use the white background for the explanation. Look at the screen. So when you read the data, equation should come to your head. Equation is P equals H rho G. P equals H rho G. H rho G. So what is H here? 0.5 meters. Height should be in meters. Density of water 1000. Gravitational acceleration is 10. Then you get the final answer 5000 Pascal. 0.5 into 10, 5 into 1000, 5000 Pascal. What is the SI unit of pressure? That is in Pascal. 5000 Pascal. Question number 2, answer is second. Please raise the hand those who got the second answer. First answer. Answer is first one. Question number 2, answer is first, 5000 Pascal. How many of you got the first answer for the second MCQ? Right, very good. Right, Vihanga, Shashini, yeah. So there are many students, so I don't have time to read the name. Okay, anyway, good. Then question number 3. So this is like, recall in your grade 10 physics. Question number 3. Which of the following is not an instance? Please pay attention to the active word, not an instance. We are using of atmospheric pressure. Not an instance of using atmospheric pressure. Yes, any volunteers, please raise the hand. Those who can give the answer, I'll lower the hand first, everyone. Any volunteers can? Yes. Question number 3, the answer. Natasha?
Fourth one.
Fourth answer. Okay, Natasha gave fourth answer. Yes, very good, Natasha. Answer is fourth. Question number 3, answer is fourth. How many of you got the fourth answer? Yes. Actually, here we use liquid pressure. So, you are given in your grade 10 textbook from which lesson? Grade 10 chapter 15. This is from grade 10 unit 15. So, you have applications of the atmospheric pressure in day-to-day life. Drinking with the use of the straw, rubber sucker, and removing water from a tank using siphon method. All these 3 given in your textbook grade 10 chapter 15. Third term work. Right, next one. Question number 4. When a stone hangs on a spring balance, its weight is 13 Newton. So this is from Archimedes principle and upthrust. So when you are given data or when the question is bit complex, if you find it difficult, then the best thing is what? You can make a small sketch of the diagram. You can make a small diagram using the data given in the question. Then it's easy to answer. So I'll make a small sketch diagram. The spring balance. Stone is hung using the spring balance. Right, let's see. So this is the spring balance and it is hung, and then what are the reading? When it is hung in air, the reading of the balance, you get how many Newton? 13 Newton. That is the actual weight of the balance, actual weight of the stone. That is the actual weight of the stone. So I'll write here 15 Newton. 13 Newton. That is the actual weight. Now, when you lower this, to water, submerge in water, actually it should be fully immersed, then you get the reading 11.5 Newton. That is called upper run weight. That is called what weight? Upper run weight. Upper run weight. Now the reading has decreased up to 11.5 Newton. So what is this weight called? Upper run weight. Now there will be an upthrust acting on the stone by water, that is called, we call it U. How to find the upthrust exerted on the stone by water? Upthrust equal actual weight or the real weight minus apparent weight, that is 13 minus 11.5. 13 minus 11.5, you get how many Newton? 1.5 Newton. But the answer 13 minus 11.5 means 1.5 Newton. That is the upthrust. That means the weight of this stone has decreased by how many Newton? By 1.5 Newton due to the upthrust. So this has decreased by how many Newton? By 1.5 Newton. That is due to the upthrust. So if upthrust is 13, what would be the reading of the balance? 0. Then it's going to float on water, right? So if upthrust was 13, then the entire weight of the stone cancelled by upthrust. So but usually that won't happen because if you put a pebble or stone, it sinks to the bottom. That means weight of the, if you cut this rope, what will happen? Will this float? No, because the weight is greater than the upthrust. Weight of the stone is greater than upthrust. Therefore, definitely it will sink if you release from the balance. So question number 4, answer is 4th. How many Newton? 1.5 Newton. Please raise the hand those who got the upthrust 1.5 Newton. So those who done this at home, you can mark with the red pen. You can check whether you are okay with the grade 10 work. I know because many of you all missed the grade 10 work because of this COVID-19 situation and some of the lessons done online. So therefore teachers not having time to do them again from the beginning. Therefore you have to learn it by doing it. You have to practice questions and recall the theory. Right, very good. Around 22 students raised the hand. Well done. Now let's move to the question number 5. Question number 5. You are given 2 objects with different masses, but they have the same velocity. Same velocity but different masses. Now they ask, so they move in a straight line. So the mass different, but the velocity same. One is 10 kilogram, the other one is 20 kilogram. That means the mass is double. Second object, the mass is 2 times than the first object. Now they are asking select the true statement. First one, kinetic energy of both these equal. Okay, what is the equation for the kinetic energy? Half mv squared. What is the kinetic energy? Equation half mv. If you only can calculate the kinetic energy. So we will put kinetic energy of A. I put kinetic energy. I put Ke. Kinetic energy of say A. Object A. You get half mv squared. So that is half into what is the mass of the object? 10 kilogram into velocity v squared, that is 5 squared, that is 25. So you get here half into 10 into 25. What is the answer? Half into 10 into 25, you get 250. 250 or 125, right? Yeah. Half into 10, 5. Half into 10 is 5. So that is 125 Newton. But if you take the kinetic energy of B, so that will be 2 times than the first one because the mass is double. When the mass is double, the kinetic energy become double. So you can write here half into what is the mass here? Mass is 20. Previous one the mass 10 kilogram. So is 5 squared, the velocity same. Then you get half into 20 into 25. What is the kinetic energy? It's 250. Half into 10, half into 20, 10 into 25, 250. Actually it's not in Newton, it should be in joules because any form of energy measured in joules, capital J. So it's in Joule. Now you can see kinetic energy not same. It's not necessary to calculate the value, but you by looking at the mass you can tell if the mass is different and if velocity is same, kinetic energy different. So therefore the first statement is wrong. First statement is wrong. So without just telling it is wrong, I showed you how what is the kinetic energy of each object. Kinetic energy of A is higher than B. So A is higher than B, that is wrong. Which one has higher value? B is kinetic energy of B actually. This should be B. Kinetic energy of B is higher. B is higher. Kinetic energy of A is lower. Because when the mass is less, kinetic energy is low. So therefore B, kinetic energy of A is higher, wrong. Which one has higher kinetic energy? B. Why? Because the mass of B is greater than A. Right? Therefore B is wrong. Second statement also wrong. Then third one, the next page top. I'll move down. Right. Kinetic energy of B is greater. Yes. Kinetic energy of B we got 250. Right. KEB 250 because when the mass is double, kinetic energy is double. Therefore, third statement is correct. Third statement is correct. So if you have not done, you can do the calculation. If you can't remember this equation, you can see kinetic energy of each object I calculated. You get B higher value than A. Right. Kinetic energy difference of A and B higher. Difference is not that high, around 2. This is not 1.25, this is 125, right? 125. Okay. So is the most correct one. Kinetic energy of B is higher than A. That is the most correct one. Answer is third. Please raise the hand those who got third answer for this MCQ. That is yes. How many of you got the third answer? Correct one, third answer. Question number 5. Question number 5 answer is third. How many of you got the third answer? Right, very good. Around 25-26 students raise the hand. Right, well done. Next one. Question number 6. At which height 20 joules potential energy is stored in an object of weight 40 Newton? This is a good question. This is a good question. Look at the screen. So I'll use the white background. At which height? When you see this word potential energy, the equation should come to your head. What is the energy for the potential energy equation? PE, potential energy equal mgh. Potential energy is equal to mgh. So they ask from which height potential energy is given, right? G, gravitational acceleration, usually they will give that in the exam. If you want to write here, G 10 ms minus 2, gravitational acceleration of the earth is constant. Right here within bracket, G equals 10. So it's known. M also known. How? Because the weight is given. If you know the weight, you can find mass. So what is the only unknown one here? H. Only unknown one is H. Right? All the others known here. You can get the mass from the weight. Potential energy is known. It's 20 joules. Mass actually 4 kilogram. G is 10. H only unknown. If you want, you can write separately. W equals mg. W equals mg. Yes, any volunteers? Some of you all raise the hand. Any volunteers? You can give me the answer. Himasha, what is the answer for this question? Yeah, before I explain.
Third answer.
Third answer. Vihanga? Ranmini?
Third one.
Okay. Chamatka?
Answer.
Shashini? Madhi?
Third one.
Third one. Okay. Most of you give third answer. Good. Let's see whether we get the third answer. 40 Newton. Mass don't know. G is 10. So 40 divided by 10, you get how many kilogram? 4 kilogram. So you have to convert weight into mass divided by 10. So if you want to write separately 1 kilogram on the earth, this is valid not on the moon or some other planet. Since gravitational acceleration is approximately 10 on the earth, so on the earth, if you are given weight, you can directly get the mass. divided by 10. So on the earth, you can write here on the earth, how to convert weight into mass divided by 10. You can convert weight into mass divided by 10. Example, 40 Newton divided by 10, you get 4 kilogram. So because 1 kilogram is equal to 10 Newton on the earth. So this one, if you want, you can copy down. Right? That you should know. Right. Now I'll put here 4 kilogram, the mass, and everything else non except height, from which height it is fell from. I'll write here mass 4 kilogram, G is 10, H is unknown, that is what we have to find, potential energy 20 joules. So you get here H equals 20 divided by 10. 20 divided by 10, you get the final answer 20 divided by 40, sorry, 20 divided by 40, because 4 times 10 is 14. 20 divided by 40, final answer will be, yes, 0 cut, it's half, right? 20 times 1, 20 times 2, it's 1 over 2. 1 over 2 means half. 1 over 2 means half. So therefore, height will be half, means 0.5 meters. Half means 0.5. Height is 0.5 meters. Very good. Those who replied, those who got the answer 0.5 Newton with this calculation, it's good. So you know the equation and you know how to apply the values to the equation. Those who have not done, please write the first step. You have to find the mass of the object using the weight, and after that everything else given in the question data, then you can go to the next part. This, okay, like this one. Question number 6. How many of you got the third answer? Please raise the hand. How many of you got the third answer with this calculation, with understanding? Right, very good. Around 26 students raise the hand. Question number 7. 7th MCQ. I'll erase the screen. If you want, you can take a screenshot, or even you can get the recording after the session. 7th MCQ, power. So there are 3 equations for power. I think most probably you might have not done grade 10, 11 power. One equation, if you don't know, write this. One equation for power is what? P equals, power equal, work done over time taken. Power is measured in what? Power equal, work done over time taken. Work done measured in joules. Work done measured in joules. Work done measured in joules. Work done over time taken. So write here work done measured in joules. Time taken measured in seconds. So you get power is joules per second. Joules per second. So that is also called watt. What is the unit of power? Joules per second. But SI unit of power will be watt. SI unit of power will be watt. Therefore, watt is also equal to joules per second. Fundamental units, joules per second. Right. Then second equation. So the first equation to calculate power, this is grade 10 chapter 18. Second equation to calculate power, power equal, if you don't know, write all these at the same place in your short notebook. Power equal, I just write P power. P equals energy divided by time. Energy divided by time. Energy given out or gain divided by time taken. The amount of energy supplied or gain. Energy measured in joules. Time measured in, so energy can be kinetic energy or potential energy or any form of energy divided by time. You get again, that is called rate of doing work or rate of doing spending some energy. That is again unit joules per second. SI unit will be watt. SI unit will be watt. Then there's one more equation to calculate power. So the first two equations actually related to grade 10 syllabus. Then the third equation, that is in grade 11. Sometimes you might have not done this in the school yet. That is power equal VI. But the third equation to calculate power, P equals VI. What is P here? Power. Right? P for power. V for voltage. P power in what? V voltage. That is electricity power. V voltage and I current. Example, electric bulb. Electric bulb, that is how you calculate the power. Voltage times current. Voltage times current. Voltage in volts, current in amperes. Electric current. Current in amperes. So power in watt, voltage in volts, current in amperes. So then you can calculate power. Example, electric bulb, LED lamp, you get power 20 watt, 100 watt. So how fast that utilize energy, rate of doing work. So what is the other equation for work done? Work done, please copy down all this everyone. Work done is also equal to what? Force into distance travel. So work done is also called, I'll write here separately, work done is what? Force into distance travel, like perpendicular distance, shortest distance or displacement. So the work done is, if you are climbing a tree, if your weight is 500 Newton, if you are climbing 10 meters height, the tree or coconut tree, so work done is what? Your weight into the distance or the height of the tree. So work done, force into distance travel. So then I can replace this equation. Work done is force into distance over time taken. So I replace work done with F into D. Work done is replaced with F into D. Now you can apply the values to this equation. Power equal, look at the data given, 100 kilogram mass, 20 meters height, 2 seconds. Look at the screen. Data given, 2 seconds, time taken given, height given in meters, the distance or the displacement, and then 100 kilogram you have to convert into Newton. 100 kilogram is what? 1 kilogram equal 10 Newton. 100 kilogram means 1000 Newton. 100 kilogram is how many Newton? 1000 Newton. So then you get 1000 Newton will be the force. 1000 Newton into height, that is 20 meters, the displacement, and I'll put the unit also, then you will understand whether you are getting what way. 1000 Newton into 20 meters. So we use this equation for this on the calculation. We use the first equation, but I gave the other all three equations to calculate power in your syllabus. O-level syllabus you can get from grade 10 or grade 11. So there are three equations all together to calculate power. Then what is the time taken here? 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So then you get 1000 into 20, 1000 into 20, 20,000 Newton meter. What is that? 20,000 Newton meter. 20,000 Newton meter divided by 2 seconds. So I told you Newton meter is also equal to Joule. Yes, any volunteers who has done this calculation and got the answer, raise the hand. Amadi, yes, what is the answer, Amadi? Shashini? Any volunteers who those who done this at home? Ranmini, Vihanga, Ranmini, you can unmute and tell the answer. Yes. Second one. Amadi?
Second one.
Second answer.
Himasha? Right. Yes. Very good. So you got second one. That means 1000 kilowatt. Any other answer other than second answer? Most of you all gave second answer. Other than second answer, who got? Wow, I told you the equation now. Equation. So initial equation is what? Work done over time taken. So work done is also equal to what? Force into distance or the displacement. Then you can rearrange this equation to get power equal work done is F into D divided by time taken T. Right? Time taken T. Then I apply the values to this equation. So just to simplify this, 20,000 divided by 2. So remember 20,000 joules divided by 20,000 joules. Newton meter is also called joule, divided by 2 seconds. Then you get what? Final answer? 20,000 divided by 2, 10,000, right? 10,000. Is that 10,000? (10,000 joules per second). 10,000 joules per second. That is the final answer. But you don't have now 10,000 joules per second is same as 10,000 watt. 10,000 watt. 10,000 joules per second is also called 10,000 watt. But they have not given any of the answers in watt. So they have how to convert watt into kilowatt. Any volunteers, those who got other than the second answer, if you have got any other answer, please raise the hand. Who is this? Anula Udamya, right? Udamya Soisa. Yeah, what is the answer, Udamya?
Fourth one.
Sandali?
Fourth one.
Nirasha?
Fourth answer.
Right, very good. Answer is fourth. So unit conversion also very important. Now you can see here 10,000 joules per second means 10,000 watt. Look at the last few, I'll highlight this red. Those who got the fourth answer, it's good. That is the correct answer. 10,000 joules means 10,000 joules per second means 10,000 watt. 10,000 watt means how to convert this into kilowatt divided by 1000. Divided by 1000. Then you get 10 kilowatt. 10 kilowatt. Remember kilowatt K simple, W capital. Kilowatt K simple, W capital, because if you write capital K for kilo, it become not kilo, it will become Kelvin watt. Capital K for Kelvin, simple K for kilo. You have to be careful about the units also when you write it, because if you write the wrong units, you will not get marks for the final answer sometimes, right? Therefore 10 kilowatt. Those who have got this second answer, I think you have not paid attention for the units, right? Units. So you should know how to convert watt to kilowatt. See, a lot of things to learn here. You should know the equation, number one. And you should know how to convert this, how to apply the values to this equation, number two. Number three, you should know joules per second is equal to watt. And you should know how to convert watt to kilowatt. Watt to kilowatt. So there are 4 steps here. So remember other 2 equations also, depending on the data given. Say example, you might give this much of kinetic energy, right? So what is the rate of doing work? So you jump from a certain height, and then your kinetic energy is converted to potential energy, or potential to kinetic, depending on the direction. And if you are given time, you can find the work done, right? And power, both. So this third equation that you might have not done at grade 11 chapter 10, current electricity, domestic electricity circuit and electrical appliances, the power. So if you buy LED or television or any other electrical appliance, so they will give the watt value. So mostly when you go to the market, we mostly ask for, from the brand name, the discount price, and the other features. But rarely we ask the price and discount, promotion and everything. Electric fan, no television, no computer or refrigerator. But very rarely we ask what is the watt value. So when you compare 2 devices of the same range, you should don't forget to ask the watt value. What is the power of this fan? What is the power of this fan? Then you can decide after buying this, after you take this home, whether you are going to pay more or less for your electricity bill. So higher the watt value, higher the electricity bill, because it consumes more electricity. So 100 watt lamp consumes more electricity than 20 watt LED, something like that. Therefore that power depends on both voltage and current. Depends on both voltage and current. So what is the voltage of your domestic circuit? 230 volt. So depend on the current consumed. So example, air conditioner consume more current than the other electrical appliances in your house. Refrigerator consume more electricity. That means they have higher watt value. So if you have electric oven, microwave, they consume more electricity than electric oven than the other electrical appliances. Right. So that one you will learn in detail under chapter 10, grade 11. I will erase the screen now. So the answer is fourth, right? So those who have got this wrong, or if you have done any careless mistake during calculation, if your unit conversion wrong, please look at the screen and copy down the answer. Fourth one. Please be honest, how many of you got this answer before I explain? Please raise the hand. I just want to know how many of you can remember this, the equation and everything, and the units and everything. Question number 7. How many of you got fourth answer before I explain? Gagana, Vihansa, Udamya Sandali Chanul. Right, very good. Right, very good. Okay, I'll erase the screen. Question number 8. 8th MCQ. This is also a very good question. You can put a star for this also. Oral exam type question. Say first underline. So one keyword, one active word in this question is safer. Say first. Which place is safer out of these 4 positions given to put the switch? Safest position for the switch. Right? Safest place for the switch. Not only to on and off. It has to be the safety matters here. Safety. Remember, usually we have to put the you can put either by putting the switch in the live wire or neutral wire, no problem. But the safest place for the switch is what? Live wire. If you want, you can write it. The switch should be connected to the live wire. The reason is electricity enters from the live wire and pass out from the neutral wire. So if I divide the current flow in here, what happened? The current that enters through the live wire passes through this, gets divided among these 2 branches. Current that enters through this, imagine here 2 amperes current enters. If they are identical lamps, what happened? 1 ampere through this lamp and 1 ampere through this lamp, and then again they combine and become 2 amperes. So some students think after the lamp current drops. No, that is wrong. If they are identical lamps, current also get divided equally. Current also gets divided equally. Now if you want to on and off both at once, look at the next keyword. When you are reading the question, understanding the question itself, you reach to your answer more than 50%. So sometimes many students, they read the same question again and again in the exam, but they don't know what is meant by the question. So then sometimes they know the answer, but they don't understand what the question is. So to off both lamp at once. Why the switch? To off both lamp at once. If you keep, okay, let's see, I'll put an arrow. If you keep the lamp at point B, you can off only A, only bulb, only second bulb. At A, at B, if you put the switch, only second bulb you can off. Only second lamp you can off. Right, put an arrow towards B, right? Only second lamp it can be off. Only the second bulb, only the second lamp, not the first lamp, you can off. If you put bulb at D, only the first lamp, only first lamp. So therefore B and D, BD not going to work. You cannot use only B or only D to off both the lamps. So then the answer will be either A or D. But out of these, the safest one is what? Safest one is, yes, any volunteers who can tell me the answer now? I explain a lot. To off both the lamps at once, out of B. Why did we reject B? If you put the switch B, if you off or open the switch at B, current will not flow through the second lamp but can flow through the first lamp. So the only one lamp, that's fine. At D also, only the first lamp but not the second lamp, current can flow through the other path. Please raise the hand those who can give me the answer for the 8th MCQ. Any volunteers, those who have done this at home, raise the hand. Dinujaya Gunawardana.
First answer.
Answer. Sadali.
First one.
Imasha.
First answer.
Very good. All of you are correct. If you got the answer before me with this understanding is great. Answer is first one. Question number 8, answer is first one. But I want you to write, if you are not aware of this, please take a note or take down a short note. The switch is used for the live wire for the safety. Right, everyone? The switch is used for the live wire for the safety of the consumers and the electrical appliance. Whenever there's a leakage from the holder or whatever. Okay, I'll write safest place for the switch is live wire. Right. Safest place for the switch is live wire. Which is what? Live wire. Because current enters from the live wire, red one. So there are standard colors, live wire red or brown, and the neutral wire blue or black. Earth wire is yellow or green. So current, now I'll give one example. Imagine a situation like this. You want to replace this. You want to replace this second lamp. Now you stand on the ground, right? You stand on the ground and you are going to replace this lamp. Now what happens? Even though you off the switch from D, the bulb is off. Both the lamps off when you open D. Right? Imagine you connect the switch to the neutral wire and you off the lamp and going to replace the bulb. So imagine accidentally your fingers or the hand contact with the wire, naked wire or the holder. What happened? Even though you disconnect from this side, electricity is available to the lamp. Current can flow. Current can flow from live wire until the lamp. If the circuit is completed, if live wire contact with your wire hand, then current can pass or it can get earth. Then you get electrocuted. Bulb is off from the other side. Current circuit is not completed, therefore bulb is off. But you are going to complete the circuit. You touch the live wire and you are standing on the ground. Then you get electrocuted. That is the risk of having the switch in the neutral wire. So that is the risk. Therefore, now during house wiring, electricians, so you have to be careful. Make sure they connect the switches to the live wire. So there are two-way switch and single or one-way switch also. Because after covering this with the casing and the plug base or the socket, so then you can't see the wires inside the wall, inside this conduit tube. So don't know whether they have connected the switch to the live wire or the neutral wire. You can operate the lamp, you can on and off even from the neutral side, but if you are going to do a small repair by yourself or going to replace the holder, because you don't call the electrician to replace the lamp, right? So you take a new lamp or new bulb and replace it, right? So then there's a risk. So you understood the point. I'll erase the screen. So the question number 8, it's a good question. The safest place for the switch is live wire. So you have to keep the switch before both the lamps to on and off at once. Right. I'll erase the screen. Question number 9, 9th MCQ. That also a very good question. Grade 10 Current Electricity Chapter 19. Actually last 2 weeks we discussed grade 10 first term and second term work mostly. Today we are discussing grade 10 third term work. So after this, depending on the situation next week, we are planning to discuss grade 11 first term work also, but grade 10 also will discuss some selected questions. 9th MCQ, any volunteers before I start the explanation? Any volunteers? 9th MCQ, you have to get them in the respective order, like correct sequence, equivalent resistance of these three circuits in the correct order or correct sequence. Yes, any volunteers respectively? I'll ask the answer from Hansi.
Fourth one.
Fourth answer.
Natasha.
Fourth one.
Malisha.
Fourth one.
Right. Dinuja.
Fourth one.
Very good. Very good. All of you are correct. So the answer is fourth. Answer is fourth. Let's see how to do it easily. Now I'll go short method. When there are any number of resistors with the same value in parallel method, how to find the equivalent resistance? The value of one resistor divided by the number of resistors. Look at the first one. There are 3 resistors with the same value. What is the short method? Resistance equal value of 1 divided by the number of resistors. 3 divided by 3, you get 1 ohm. 1 ohm. Therefore, these 3 you can write here 1 ohm. 1 plus 3, you get total here, you get how many ohms? Total will be 4 ohms. Total you get 4 ohms. How come 4? 1 plus 3. How come 1? 1 ohm, 3 over 3. If you have 10 resistors, 3, 3, 3, 10 times, 3 divided by 10. That is a short method. If you have 3, 3, 3, 100 times, 3 ohms divided by 100. Value of one resistor divided by the total number of resistors. That is the short method to find the equivalent resistance in parallel method if the values are same. What are the two conditions? same, all the resistance, same value, and they are parallel. Same resistance, parallel. What is the short method? Value of 1 over number of resistors. Right. So that's how you get 4 ohms first circuit. Second circuit is very easy. 3 plus 3, 6 ohms. 6 ohms. So because it's in series connection, 3 plus 3, 6 ohms. Third circuit, look at the screen. 3, 3, 3. All three having the same value. Therefore, 3 over 3 you get 1 ohm. 1 ohm. So therefore, the final answer 1 ohm. 1 ohm. So they ask respective, then you get 461. Answer is 4th. 461 answer is 4th. Please raise the hand those who got other than those who replied unmuted and gave the answer. How many of you got this answer? Before I explain, raise the hand. There are more than 90 students. So how many students got this correct answer before I explain the fourth answer? Right. Around 20 students. Right. Very good. Then question number, remember grade 10 work. You are getting, especially this current electricity lesson is very important. Because you have 4 lessons in your grade 11, it's linked with electricity. The 4 most difficult lessons in your syllabus, grade 11, unit 11, electronics, unit 12, electrochemistry, grade 11's third term work, grade 11, unit 11, electrochemistry, unit 12, this is electronics. All start with electro, unit 12, electronics here. This is electrochemistry, and 13, electromagnetism. And 10th lesson, it's electricity. So a domestic electric circuit, power and energy of electrical appliances. You can see all this linked with electricity. That's why this 19th lesson, if you are not good in 19th lesson, current electricity grade 10, you will find it bit difficult to understand the grade 11, these 4 lessons, the 4 hardest lessons where you get always essay type questions in the exam. Right. I'll read the screen. Question number 10. 10th MCQ, the range of the resistance. You can see, look at the answers. They have given the range of the resistance. When you are given a resistor like this, there are first 3 color bands. You can directly get the resistance. First 3 colors, you can directly get the resistance. Look at the screen. Brown is 1. Black is 0. So this black we don't write anything. Why? Because it's 0 means no zeros. 10 to the power 0 is 1. Therefore, there are 3 steps. First, you have to calculate the equivalent resistor, the resistance of this resistor using the first 3 color bands. It is 10 ohm. 10 ohms. So, I'll write here resistance 10 ohms. How come 10? Brown 1, black 0. So, third one, 0 zeros. That means no zeros. If you get third color band, so I'll highlight that red. This third color band, black. So, it's 0. Therefore, no, that means you can't add any zeros. 10 to the power 0, that is 1. 1 into 10 is 10. But imagine you get again brown, black, brown. If this was brown, you had to put 1 0. Then it will be 100 ohms. Right? If this was, if you get say red, so red I think it's 2. So then you have to put 2 zeros. Depending on the number, you have to put the number of zeros. If it is 1, 1 0. If the third color band, if you get number 2, 2 zeros. Third color band, if you get number 3, 3 zeros, like that. If you get third color band 0, the red one 0, that means no zeros, 0 zeros or 10 to the power 0. That's why you get the first part answer is 10 ohms. So but this is not what they asked in the question. So the exact resistance will be 10 ohms, but this can change within by how many ohms. So they have given the fourth color band, that is 10 plus or minus 10. That means that is the tolerance. That is the tolerance. Silver means is plus or minus, that means is 10%. What is the tolerance here? 10%. Tolerance will be 10%. So if you multiply this 10 Newton by 10%, what is the answer? I'll write here tolerance, capital T. Tolerance will be 10 ohms into 10%. 10 ohms into 10%, you get the answer 1 ohm. So that this is not what is, so you have to follow all these steps to get the final answer. Then last step we are going for our answer. So we want to find the range now. Now actual value 10 ohms, but it can increase by 1 or it can decrease by 1. It should be actually plus or minus 1. It should be 10%. So then final answer is what? Range. I'll write here range. Range equal 10 range of the resistance. Range equal 10 minus 1 to 10 plus 1. 10 ohms can increase by 1 or decrease by 1. 10 minus 1 will be a 9 ohms. 10 plus 1 will be 11 ohms. So the resistance can change between 9 and 11. That's what it means. Look at again. What is the first step? Find the resistance using the first three colors. Second step, find the tolerance using the fourth color band, the percentage given. Then third step, you have to find the range using the first two values, 10 and 1 ohm. 10 minus 1 to 10 plus 1, that is the range. So therefore, even though we give 10 ohms, it can fluctuate within this range accepted. Because any resistor, the resistance can fluctuate within a certain range. Within that range, they will accept the values. So the most correct answer, question number 10, second answer. How many of you got the second answer? Please raise the hand. Before I explain, you followed these three steps and got the second answer. How many of you? How many of you got the second answer? Right, very good, very good. Around 11 students raised the hand. Well done. Then question number 11. 11th MCQ, you have to use V equals IR because current given and voltage given. So when data given, equation should come to your head. Current 0.5 amperes, voltage 12 volt. They are asking the resistance. What is the equation? Ohm's law equation. V equals IR. Any volunteers who has done this at home? Any volunteers who can give me the answer? Raise the hand. Sandali?
First one.
First one. Hansi?
First one.
Vihanga? Okay. So, first one. Let's see. Yeah, answer is correct. Your answer is correct. Question number 11, answer is first. Those who have done the calculation and got the answer, you can mark with the red pen the answer, 24 ohms. But let's see how to do. Those who have not done, look at the screen. V equals IR. So, R equals V divided by I. Resistance equal V over I. What is the voltage here? 12 volt divided by 0.5 amperes. 12 divided by 0.5. So then you get the resistance. 12 divided by 0.5 will be 24 ohms. Right. That's how you get the answer for 10th MCQ. 10th MCQ, this is how you get the answer. Question number 12. 12th MCQ, consider the following chemical reaction. Shall I read the screen? Anyone still copying now? Raise the hand. Done? Did you all finish writing? The method important, not only to mark the answer. You should know how to get the answer. The method you have to write, right? So you can keep a separate writing book for this. I'll read the screen. Question number 12. Consider the following chemical reaction. What is the element X? What is the element X? Now you can see here, iron has been displaced by X. Iron is displaced by X. Fe is displaced by whom? X is displaced by iron. Iron is displaced by X. That means X has to be more reactive than iron. Iron is displaced by element X. Therefore, X should be more reactive than iron. X should be more reactive than iron. More reactive than whom? Than iron, Fe. Than iron. That means X is above iron in the activity series. So my third argument is this. If iron get displaced by X, X should be more reactive than iron. X should be above iron in the activity series. X is above iron in activity series. Look at the screen. It should be above iron in activity series. So this is how you predict the answer. First step is what? Iron has been displaced by X. Therefore, X should be more reactive to displace iron, and X must be above iron in the activity series. Out of this, if you don't know the activity series, that is the end of this question. Yes, any volunteers now who can give me the answer at least now? If you know the activity series now, you should be able to give the answer. You should know which metal is above iron out of these 4 answers given. Yes? I'll ask the answer from Udamya. Yes, Udamya.
Second one.
Nirasha. Sandali.
Second one.
Vihanga.
Second one.
Amadi.
Second one.
Very good. All of you are correct. Very good. Answer is second. Zinc is above iron in the activity series. Very good. Excellent. Those who got the answer. Answer will be zinc. Answer will be zinc. Right. But anyway, you better copy down the method. So all the other metals below iron in the activity series. For the single displace, so what is this reaction? This is a single displacement reaction. That also, if you want, you can write here about this reaction, right? This is a single displacement reaction. This is a single displacement reaction. This is a single displacement reaction. Single displacement reaction. For the single displacement reaction to occur, the metal added should be what? More reactive than the one in the solution. For the single displacement reaction to occur, the metal added should be more reactive than the one in the solution. Right. Next one. I'll erase the screen. Anyone still copying down? Shall I erase the screen? Right. Question number 13. Question number 13. You are given 3 methods of collecting gases. So the question is, out of these 3 methods, which method can be used to collect carbon dioxide? To collect what? Carbon dioxide. Any volunteers who can give me the answer for this 13th MCQ? Yes? Who can give me the answer for the 13th MCQ? Right. I'll ask the answer from same set of students most of the time raised there. Anyway, Imasha, Vihanga.
Second answer.
Right. Second answer. Any other volunteers? Right. Let's see. I think this one many students didn't respond. So I think you find it difficult. Look at carbon dioxide is a heavier gas. Therefore, heavier gases can be collected by this method. So you can put an arrow. This is the first diagram. You can put an arrow. This method can be used to collect what type of gas? Carbon dioxide gas, which is heavier. And this one can be used, this method can be used to collect which gas? Hydrogen gas, which is lighter than air. Heavier gases can be collected because that retains at the bottom. Lighter gases rising up. Therefore, the second B can be used to collect hydrogen gas. Third one, you can collect any gas which is less soluble in water. Any gas which is weakly soluble in water or not soluble or very weakly soluble. Any gas which is less soluble, which is weakly soluble or less soluble. Which is less soluble in water. But if you take like a gas like ammonia, you can't collect using this method because ammonia gas is what? Highly soluble in water. So ammonia, before it collects at the top, it will dissolve in water. So any gas which is less soluble in water, because any gas is lighter than water. Any gas can be collected above water because any gas is lighter than or less denser than water. So this method can be used to collect carbon dioxide. You can collect oxygen by this method. You can collect hydrogen by this method. Even carbon dioxide also can be collected. In your syllabus, you have to remember the preparation of 3 gases: carbon dioxide, oxygen and hydrogen. But out of these 3, the third method, there's one more method which is not given here. If you want, you can write down that one. And actually, you can collect any gas to a syringe. That also you better copy down. That is the best method of collecting any gas other than these 3 methods. So you can have a conical flask and you can have here and you can have a delivery tube and you can connect this to a syringe. When the gas get collected, the syringe goes back. You can collect any gas here. Any gas. Why it is the best method? Because no wastage of gas. You can easily store the gas. There's no problem with water solubility. So any gas can be collected by this method, and that is the best method of collecting any gas. So imagine you have zinc and HCl. Then hydrogen gas get collected and you can store that in pure form. You can collect because actually the problem is this. Sometimes we say this is only oxygen. No. Who can tell me other than oxygen what else present in this area? Yes, any volunteers? Is that only, imagine I am going to collect oxygen gas in this area. So can I have pure sample of oxygen here? Other than oxygen, what else could be present here? Yes, can I get a pure sample of oxygen? Other than oxygen, you have water vapor. Remember that. You have what? Water vapor. This area contain oxygen plus water vapor. Water vapor. That's why it's not 100% pure form. So it's mixed with water vapor. Then you have to dry gas. You have to dry. You have to remove moisture. Okay. So good. I think Vihanga, you raised the hand. Maybe you knew the answer, but anyway, I told the answer. So that also you have to keep in your head. Any gas can be collected above water if it is less soluble in water, but above water, you have oxygen or hydrogen or carbon dioxide plus water vapor. Right. But this one, the problem is, and you should know how there are 4 other things you should know about each of these gas. You should know how to, okay, I'll write the list, see whether you can remember. You should know how to prepare this gas. You should know how to collect this gas. Preparation, you should know how to prepare. That means chemicals required to prepare the gas. Chemical reaction, you should know. Method of collecting the gas. Method of collecting. That's what they have given this question. Method of collecting the gas. Then properties of gas. Properties of gas. And then uses of the gas. And identification of the gas. These are the 5 things you should know about these 3 gas. If you want, you can write the list. Example. How to prepare carbon dioxide. How to collect carbon dioxide. What are the properties of carbon dioxide? What are the uses of carbon dioxide? How to identify carbon dioxide? Or else if you take oxygen, method of the preparation of oxygen, chemical reaction, balancing, chemicals required. Method of collecting O2 gas, say downward displacement of water. Then properties of oxygen gas, colorless, odorless, supporter of combustion, right? slightly soluble in water, like that. Then uses. What are the uses of oxygen? Respiration, combustion, then industrial, like production of nitric acid, like that. Identification of oxygen. So glowing sprint will relights, like that. So you can prepare a summary, a short note, because this is one area where you can get even essay type questions in the exam. Now this is, now I will highlight this again. If you want, you can make a small, this one, collecting gas to a syringe. So this is the syringe. I highlighted that green. So that method also they can give with these three, and they can ask what is the most suitable method of collecting any gas. Then the answer is that one, collect into a syringe, right? Because you can remove the syringe and seal it. You can store it easily. Wastage of the gas is less. Contamination less. Right? Time taken less. Many benefits of collecting the gas to a syringe like this. And the other problem is all these three gases are colorless and odorless. Therefore, it's very difficult to observe through your naked eye. That's why you need red litmus or blue litmus or lime water or glowing splint or burning splint to identify this or acre. This is from grade 10 chapter 16, gas preparation. You can get the experimental setup. You have to remember how to label this diagram if it is given in the exam, and if they give a wrong diagram or diagram with errors or diagram with defects, that also you should know how to notice and how to correct it. Right? So please pay attention. Oral paper you can get structured essay type questions also from this gas production part. Right, I'll erase the screen now. Question number 14. So what is the answer for this? Well, they asked to prepare carbon dioxide, A and C. B you can't take because B, all the others contain B. First one you can't select because of B actually. Because carbon dioxide only A and C. Correct answer is second. Please raise the hand those who got the second answer for this. How many of you got the second answer? Before I explain who got the second answer, A and C only correct for collecting CO2 gas. Right, around 15 students raised the hand. Very good. My advice now, not just to mark the answer, even though your answer is correct, if anything you know you feel important, you better copy down that separately in your writing book. Question number 14. I'll erase the screen now. 14th MCQ. Select the equation that shows the single displacement reaction. This is again grade 10 term work, chapter 16, chemistry. Single displacement. Okay. Any volunteers who can? This is a simple question. These basic things in chemistry, like grade 10 basics. I will ask the answer from Vihanga, Imasha, Sandali.
Second one.
Second one.
Amadi, Nirasha, Damya.
Second one.
Right, very good. All of you are correct. Zinc plus copper sulfate, answer is second. So that is single displacement. Please write if you don't know. If you know this, no problem. Otherwise, other students, write the first one is, if you had marked the first one, that is a decomposition reaction. According to grade 10 chemistry, this is a decomposition reaction, but according to grade 11 chemistry, this is endothermic reaction. So please write everyone. This is a single, decomposition reaction as well as decomposition reaction as well as endothermic reaction. Endothermic. Heat is absorbed because this reaction occurs at about 900 degrees Celsius. What is calcium carbonate? Limestone. Calcium oxide, quicklime. So this is endothermic. Heat is absorbed. You have to supply heat. This reaction will absorb heat. When the reaction is in progress, heat is absorbed. Such reactions are called endo. Endo means in. Thermal means heat. Endothermic. This is from grade 11 chapter 8. I don't know if they have done this in. So because in the exam they can combine both these. Grade 10 and grade 11 chemistry. Grade 10 and grade 11 chemistry they can combine. Then second one is that is the answer. Fourth one is combination reaction. Chemical combination. And third one is double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. Actually, grade 10 chemistry you learned 4 different types of reaction. Single, double, combination, then decomposition. But in grade 11 you learn endothermic, exothermic, then neutralization reaction. neutralization reaction. Endothermic, exothermic and neutralization. So therefore they can combine this grade 11 reaction types with grade 10 reaction types in the oral paper. There are past questions like that. I'll give one example. This sodium hydroxide react with HCl. Acid and base react to forming salt and water. So that is a neutralization reaction as well as it is an exothermic reaction. If you want, you can copy down this. Sodium hydroxide reacts with HCl. Sodium hydroxide NaOH reacts with HCl forming sodium chloride and water, forming NaCl and H2O. This is what? A neutralization reaction as well as an exothermic reaction. Exothermic as well as neutralization reaction. Please note down this. Because this is an acid-base reaction. Sodium hydroxide is a base, HCl is an acid, and what is formed? Salt and water. So even when you are drinking maybe gastritic pills, for gastritis, what is gastritis caused by? What is the acid in your stomach? Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. So to neutralize the acidity of the stomach in gastritis, we drink milk of magnesia. Say example, magnesium hydroxide. That also a neutralization reaction as well as an exothermic reaction, because neutralization is always exothermic. Alright, in your stomach, if you drink milk of magnesia, digen, you know there are various commercial names. They use all these weak bases or basic salts. Aluminium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is a weak base, so it reacts with the acid in your stomach. Then you take these medicines forming magnesium chloride and water, MgCl2 and H2O. So this is a neutralization reaction as well as an exothermic reaction. Any acid-base reaction, neutralization as well as an exothermic reaction. So this is also very important. Other than the grade 10 reaction types, they can ask about these three types also: exothermic, endothermic and neutralization reaction. So if you are burning something in the kitchen, maybe LP gas or firewood or kerosene, so combustion of any fuel also what? Combustion of any fuel also an exothermic reaction, because exo means out. Thermal means heat. Exothermic means heat is given out or heat is liberated to the surrounding. Endothermic means heat is absorbed. So surrounding cools down. Heat is lost from the surrounding. Endothermic. It is added to the surrounding. Exothermic. From the system, from the test tube or from the reaction, so heat is released. So you will learn this in detail under grade 11 chapter 8, but this is very important, introduced to new syllabus, as I wanted to combine this also. Now question number 15. I'll erase the screen. You better copy down everything that you feel is important. Question number 15. This is also very important. This is from grade 10 chapter 10. Lewis structure. Not an accurate Lewis structure. Any volunteers who can give me the answer? 15th MCQ. Any volunteers? What is incorrect one? Hansi, what is the answer, Hansi?
Second one.
Natasha?
Second one.
Irasha? Damya? Yanga?
Second one.
Second one.
Yeah, very good. Answer is second. Why the answer is second? Remember, when you draw the Lewis structure, these are the conditions. Why the answer is second? Because nitrogen atom, something is missing. What is missing around nitrogen atom? One lone pair is missing. So you have to put a lone pair. This is missing here. That's why it's wrong. Look at the screen. Around nitrogen, how many electrons? There are 5 electrons. Nitrogen atomic number 7, 2, 5, 5 valence electrons. Out of 5, 3 electrons go on for the bonds. Out of 5 electrons, 3 electrons participated in the bond formation. Look at here. 1 electron here, the other electron here, and the other electron here. So after that, the other 2 electrons remain as what? Lone pair. Lone pair. So therefore, this is also called non-bonding pair. If you can put an arrow, this is the correct Lewis structure. This is called non-bonding pair or lone pair. Non-bonding pair is also known as lone pair. What are the two types of lone pair means? Non-bonding pair. They have not participated in the bond formation. Remember, only the valence electrons participate in the bond formation. Valence electrons means electrons found in the valence shell, or electrons found in the outermost shell, or electrons found in the last energy level called valence electrons. Valency depends on the valence electrons, and only valence electrons participate in the bond formation. Now you can understand how important the electronic configuration. If you don't know how to write the electronic configuration of at least the first 20 elements, that is the end of your chemistry. If you don't know the periodic table, the first 20 elements, if you don't know the any element out of the first 20 to write the configuration, you will find, no wonder you will find chemistry hard. And the activity series you have to remember. These are the basic things like alphabet of chemistry. Now, there are some, this is actually Lewis's name of a scientist who introduced this Lewis theory. Actually, that is not a perfect theory. There are some drawbacks of this theory. Some molecules, you can't draw the Lewis structure. Okay, these are the conditions. Lewis theory or Lewis structures can be drawn only for the covalent compounds. If you want, you can write down the Lewis structures, some conditions or some rules. One is what? Only for covalent compounds. You can't draw the Lewis structures for the ionic, only for covalent. So remember all these covalent, look at the screen. All four answers contain covalent compounds. Carbon dioxide, ammonia, CCl4, H2O. Only for covalent. And the other one, second condition is this. Central atom, all the valence electrons should be presented either as bonding pairs or lone pairs. All the valence electrons, all the outermost electrons should be represented as lone pairs and bonding pairs. All valence electrons. All the valence electrons either as lone pairs or bonding pairs. Lone pairs we use pair of dots, and lone pairs we use a small dash. Bonding pairs. Bonding pair or pairs, right? Small dash. And the third condition for when drawing the Lewis structure, central atom or all the atoms should reach octet except hydrogen. All the atoms should reach octet. Central atom, especially central atom, should reach octet. What is octet? Having 8 electrons. Check here. Around each atom there are 8 electrons except hydrogen. Look at here, or even terminal atoms. Atoms should reach octet, especially central atoms. Atoms should reach octet after combining, after making the bonds. Atoms should reach octet. What is octet? Having 8 electrons in the outermost. Remember this Lewis theory, Lewis structure is very important. At least you get a MCQ. Octet means having 8. Should reach octet. If you want to write within bracket, octet means what? 8 electrons around, 8, having 8 electrons in the valence shell. 8 electrons in the valence shell. Now you can see when you directly look at this, why the answer is second? Because lone pair is not given, then only 3 bonds, only 6 electrons. Here oxygen how many? 2 bonding and 2 lone pairs. So around oxygen there are 8 electrons. Look at here. 2 lone pairs, 4 electrons, 2 bonding pair, 4 electrons. Because each bond there are 2 electrons. Each bond there are 2 electrons. So here this bond also 2 electrons. And the lone pairs, this lone pair 2 electrons and the other lone pair 2 electrons. Altogether how many electrons? 8 electrons at the valence shell of oxygen, including the electrons contributed by hydrogen, because electrons in the bonds belonging to both the atoms. Now look at here, this carbon how many bonds? 4 bonds. 1 bond, how many electrons? 2 electrons. 2 into 4, 8 electrons, octet. Look at this oxygen, 2 bonds, 2 lone pairs. How many electrons total? 8 at the valence shell, octet. This oxygen, how many electrons at the valence shell? 8 electrons. How come 8? 2 bonds, 2 lone pairs. 1 bond, 2 electrons. 2 into 4, 8 electrons. Total pairs 4. Total pairs 4. How come total pairs 4? 2 bonding pairs, 2 lone pairs around oxygen. This oxygen, 2 bonding pairs, 2 lone pairs. Altogether 4 pairs. 1 pair 2 electrons. 2 into 4, 8 electrons. Carbon, Total pairs 4 bonding pairs. 1 pair 2 electron. 1 pair 2 electron. 2 into 4 8 electrons. So they all reach octet. So if the atoms reach octet, that is stable. That is stable. And look at the last one, carbon tetrachloride. Around carbon how many electrons? 8 electrons. How come 8? 4 bonds. 1 bond 2 electron. 2 into 4 8 electrons. Each chlorine atom 8 electrons including the bonding pair. So they all reach octet. But there are very rarely you get molecules with less than 8. We call them incomplete octet. So they are unstable. I'll give one example. Some exceptions. BCl3. BCl3 number of electrons, boron group 3 elements, they cannot form bonds with octet. BCl3 only 3 bonds, it has only 6 electrons. Boron atomic number 5, I think 2,3, atomic number 5 2,3, only 3 electrons, only 3 valence electron means they can form only 3 bonds, only 3 bonds around boron. Therefore boron cannot form more than 3 bonds. Therefore it is called what? Incomplete octet. Less than 8, incomplete octet. But there are instances where they can form more than 4 bonds, like PCl5. Even AlCl3 I can write, that is also aluminium chloride. AlCl3 only 3 bonds. Aluminium group 3 outermost 3, valency 3, and form only 3 bonds. Phosphorus pentachloride, there are 5 chlorine atoms around phosphorus. So we don't consider about the geometry. When drawing the Lewis structure, the shape is not considered. So PCl5, how many bonds? 5 bonds. 5 bonds means how many electrons? 10 electrons. 10 electrons means how? What? It is called expanded octet. Expanded octet. What are the 3 things? Octet, that is the most stable. Octet. Then the other one is expanded octet and incomplete octet. Who form incomplete octet? The group 3 elements and group 2 elements. This is called incomplete octet. Only 6 electrons. Less than 8, incomplete octet. Right? So there's a lot. Actually, you can search in the internet conditions or the rules when drawing the Lewis structures. Because this is, if anyone of you are planning to do A-level science or maths, you need this again. A-level chemistry paper, and sometimes they might change the syllabus again for you, but they can't change chemistry. If the syllabus change, chemistry is chemistry. So the Lewis structures, Lewis theory, that concept will not change even though it's all syllabus on your syllabus. So definitely you are getting this again A-level chemistry. If you are planning to do therefore this grade 10, that is not only for 10. So that foundation is very important for your A-levels also. That is the responsibility of the O-level teachers to give something extra for the students, those who are planning to do A-level science or maths, right? Bio or maths, right? I'll erase the screen. Now one more thing. If you can draw the water molecule, now you can write the one more thing here under Lewis structures. The shape is not necessary when drawing the Lewis structure. Actually, water molecule is angular. You can draw it like this way. Water molecule is angular. It's like this. But either you draw this way or that way, it's accepted in the exam, right? It is accepted in the exam. Water molecule is inorganic. There are a lot of things to remember about water. Water is inorganic. No carbon in it. Water is polar, right? Polar molecule. And it is polar covalent bonds. Polar covalent bonds. It's a covalent molecule. Polar molecule and is covalent compound. And it's angular or V-shape, angular. The shape is angular. Inorganic, polar, covalent bonds are present, is a covalent compound and is angular. The shape is angular or bent. So many things to remember. There are other properties also, I don't have time to tell, right? So Lewis structure is very important. Pay attention. They don't ask sucrose, glucose, paracetamol or aspirin to draw the Lewis structures. Very simple molecules, maximum 4-5 atoms, right? Maybe PCl5 they can ask sometimes. Carbon tetrachloride, maximum up to what, 4 or 5 atoms. CH4 they can ask 5 atoms. CH4 only 5 atoms, right? Like that. But you will not get a very complex ones to draw the Lewis structure. So if you don't know the configuration, you will find the Lewis structures difficult, right? Okay. Answer is what? Second one. Question number 15. Answer is second. Question number 16. Look at the screen. 16th one, consider the following statement. This is from grade 10 chapter 17, rate of reaction. Any volunteers who can give me the answer for this? Any volunteers? Hansi?
Fourth one.
Vihinda? Amadi?
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
Very good. All of you are correct. Answer is 4. You can measure the rate of reaction. The speed of reaction is the amount of change occurs in unit time. Amount of change means maybe the reactants or the products. It can be reactants or the products. Right here, amount of change means what? Either reactants or the products. Change of reactants or change of products or time taken. You can write the equation from this. Rate equal change of products over time taken. Or you can write change of reactants over time taken. So you can write two equations for the rate. Either rate of the reaction, right? Or you can write rate equal change of reactants. Change of reactants over time taken. Change of reactants over time taken. That is also correct. Concentration of reactants or change of the mass of the reactants or products, so you can take. Then next one, the speed of reaction can be determined by measuring the reactants contributed to the reaction or products form. That's why I love products form. Change of products means what? Product form. Here the reactants used up. Amount of reactants used up or the amount of products formed over time taken. So if you find final minus initial, you can get the change of the products. Or initial minus final, you get the change of the reactants over time taken. So if you want to find the rate, how fast, what is rate? How fast something is happening. Rate means how fast something is happening. Understood? So if you divide something by time, that is called the rate. Now example, if you dissolve salt in hot water, you can dissolve fast. Rate is high. Plus you can dissolve more. Solubility also high. You can write it when dissolving salt in hot water than in cold water. Sodium chloride in hot water than in cold water. Rate also high. Rate of dissolving also high. Solubility also high. The amount you can dissolve also high. How fast it dissolves also increase because of the temperature. So solubility depends on temperature. Plus rate of reaction also depends on temperature. These two different things. Rate of reaction grade 10, solubility grade 11, chemistry, third lesson. Then by measuring the amount of time taken to produce certain, so all three are correct. That is how you define the rate. So the question number 16 answers for those who have done this before me. Very good. Sometimes if they ask in the exam, this question can be the answer in essay type if they ask what is known as rate, or briefly explain the rate of a reaction, or define the rate. Then you can write the amount of change that occurs in a unit time, or the amount of products formed over time taken, or amount of reactants utilized over time taken. Write the equations, everyone. What are the possible equations we can build up from this? Rate of the reaction equal amount of products formed or the change of products over time taken, or rate of reaction equal disappearance of reactants, or the change of reactants, or the reactants utilized over time taken. If reactants getting disappeared fast, rate is high. If products appear in fast, the rate is high. What is the benefit of increase in the rate? What is the benefit of increase in the rate industrially? You can make more profit. You can satisfy the demand of the customers. You can reduce the running cost. You can reduce the electricity bill. You can reduce the, you don't need to pay more for the labors, or the maintenance cost reduce. If the rate is low, if the rate of the reaction is low, it takes longer time to get the products. Machines are operated long hours. You have to pay OT, you have to pay more for the labors, and you cannot supply the demand on time. Electricity bill increase, running cost increase, you can't satisfy the demand, you lose the customers. Now that is what happening in our country now. The rate of supply in fuel, rate of supply in the other essential things, goods. So there's a delay, slow, it's a bit slow. So it's not supplied on time. Then you lose the customers. Now the consumers, they have got used to the firewood. They have got used to the polkatu kuruli, or like various methods of utilizing using cooking other than using LP gas. Sometimes even LP gas is available. Sunday they might feel that is better in cheaper because that one is expensive. Or maybe induction cooker or microwave, right? Or hot plate, different alternatives they get used. Imagine if there's a shortage of soap in the market, then they will get you something that is a problem. Therefore, all these industries, as big as chemical industry, petrochemical industry, petroleum industry, you have fractional distillation, grade 11, right? Soap industry, caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, raw material, that is a chemical industry. To make batteries, battery acid, sulfuric, chemical industries. So all these chemical industries, who control this? Scientists, consultant, quality controllers. So therefore that the process on their hand, how fast that's happening, right? Therefore the quality also matters, and your rate also matters. The quality of the products and the rate both. Yeah. If quality is good but if it is very slow, then also it's not going to work. Cement industry, chemical industry, right? Salt industry, that is also under chemistry. You learn all this earlier, all syllabus. Cement industry also was there. A-level chemistry, you have soap industry, you have caustic soda industry, nitric acid industry, sulfuric acid industry, polymer industry, rubber products, tires, all this. So therefore, chemistry is a principal subject, right? Even your garments that you wear, it's come from chemistry. Okay, so this is very important because you should know the applications, importance of the subject that you learn. Okay, question number 6 and answer 4. Now, so therefore, the rate on not only to get marks, industrial rate is very, very important. Rate can be increased by using catalyst also. Now, next one, students took 3 test tubes, 5 ml, 10 ml, 15 ml water. Right. What is added? Water. Then the rest is, then they top up this up to equal level using distilled water until liquid level was equal. What is added? Hydrochloric acid. So you take, and after that you add in simultaneously magnesium strip. So what is the reaction that goes here? Magnesium react with whom? Hydrochloric acid. Magnesium same size. Magnesium same size, same surface area, same size. Simultaneously to these 3 tubes. So what actually the effect of which factor is tested here? Any volunteers who can give me the answer for this question? 17th MCQ. Okay, if you want, I'll make a small sketch of this diagram, then you can easily understand. If you find it difficult to understand my advice, make a small sketch of the diagram. Then it's easy to understand what's happening, right? So you have 3 test tubes, and you add magnesium same size. So you add first one water 5 ml, 10 ml, 15 ml. So I put here water. Then you fill the rest with what? HCl. HCl up to the until it come to the equal level. So here HCl. But anyway, after mixing, it will dissolve well. And here HCl. HCl and this is water. Red one is HCl, black one is water. Water. So what is added to all this? Magnesium. Magnesium strip is added same size. From which one you get air bubbles fastest? Tell me. Okay, forget about the answers given in the question. Now my question is, from which tube? I put tube ABC. From which tube the air bubbles evolve faster when magnesium react with HCl? Any volunteers? From which tube the air bubbles are evolving? What is the air bubble? Hydrogen gas. Magnesium react with HCl, producing magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. From which tube air bubbles are evolved fastest? Yes. Any volunteers? Nirasha, Udamya, Vihanga, Masha, Sandeep?
A.
A. And tell me the reason also. Yes, highest rate is from A. A has the highest rate. Why? It has the highest HCl concentration. More HCl, less water. So I'll write below A, highest concentration. Highest concentration. This one has lowest concentration. This one has lowest concentration. A has the highest concentration. C has the lowest concentration. So therefore the effect of which factor tested here? Concentration of the reactants. Concentration of the reactants affecting the rate is tested here. Any volunteers who has done this before and got the answer, raise the hand. What is the answer for the 17th MCQ? Chedul, Nisuli, Natasha, Chamachka, Gagana,
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
Yeah,
Fourth.
very good. All of you are correct. Answer is fourth. The effect of concentration on the rate. So how did we change the concentration of HCl? By mixing with water. That process called dilution. Dilution. Mixing of an acid with water called dilution. So then we call it diluted acid. Diluted acid. Which one is diluted more? Tube A. Where diluted more, tube C. Diluted less, tube A. Less water, dilution is less. So tube C, dilution is more because more water is added than less HCl, right? Question number 17, answer is 4. Question number 20, question number 18. Which is used as a catalyst in the production of ammonia? Yes. There are, this is from chapter 17, grade 10. There are 4 industries. Basically, you have to remember, you should know each industry the catalyst. Not all the industries given in your textbook. Nitric acid industry, sulfuric acid industry. I'll write that if you want nitric acid industry, you should know what is the catalyst, because that is sometimes very useful. This acid widely used in industries chemically. Sometimes we call it Ginnimathura, nitric acid. Sulfuric acid, battery acid, H2SO4. Chemical industries. Then you get ammonia, NH3, and margarine. Yes, you should know each industry. If you don't, if you can't remember right here, each industry you should know the catalyst use. Nitric acid, what is the catalyst use? Sulfuric acid, they use vanadium pentoxide, V2O5. Right? So, nitric acid, they use a platinum catalyst. Ammonia industry, they use iron catalyst. Margarine industry, they use nickel catalyst. So most of them are not in the table. That is from D block transition metals. So they are ammonia. Ammonia is a chemical formula of ammonia is NH3. That is a basic gas. Ammonia is a basic gas. NH3. NH3. And don't mix up ammonia and ammonium. Ammonia is NH3. Ammonium is NH4 plus. NH4 plus. So most of the gases that you come across in your syllabus are either neutral or acidic. But this is a basic gas. If you don't write it, this is a basic gas which turns red blue litmus into red litmus into blue. Basic gas convert red litmus into blue. It's a basic gas. So answer is fourth. Question number 18. I gave separately. If you want, you can copy down. I'll highlight that red. Nitric, sulfuric, ammonia. You should remember the catalyst used in each industry. So the question number 18, answer is fourth. Iron catalyst used in the production of ammonia. Ammonia is very important in rubber industry. Ammonia, but it is a toxic gas, right? Ammonia is a toxic gas. You should not inhale. When you open the ammonia bottle in the school laboratory, you get a strong smell, right? So it's a toxic gas. Question number 19. This is from grade 10, the last lesson, genetics, genetic lesson. So today I put questions from the grade 10, mostly the third term work, because since last 2 weeks we discussed from the first 2 terms, chemistry, biology, chemistry, physics. Correct genotypes of the position 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the Punnett square. Okay, so I'll write quickly, then you can easily get the answer. Any volunteers? Those who done this at home? 19th MCQ, the answer? Yes. Imasha? Natasha?
Second one.
Second one.
Minuli? Amatka? Amadi?
Second one.
Right. So it's second one. Capital T, capital T. Today only girls voice I hear, not much boys. But anyway, now that is also a problem in the future. Many students join in now entering students university intake. Gender, that ratio is the female percentage, girls. So it's higher than the boys. Even now it's happening in the engineering faculty also, even medical faculty. Many girls, most of the university students now, the girls, the gender. So that will be a problem in the future in our country. I don't know why even you can see this. Right, anyway, capital T, first one. Second one, capital T, simple T. Then third one also capital T, simple T. Fourth one, simple T, simple T. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Capital T, I'll write the order. Capital T, don't look at now this type of question. You should better do it alone and compare with your answer without looking at the answers first. First you have to do it alone and you have to write this, and after that which answer gives this, then you are 100% confirm about your answer. Some questions you have to do it alone and check whether that answer is there among the 4 answers. So this is what you get. Answer is second. Very good. All of you get the correct answer. Question number 19, answer is second. Question number 20. That is a good question. Any volunteers who can give me the answer for the 20th MCQ? Yes. Genetic disorder due to mutation of autosomal chromosomes. I'll highlight here autosomal chromosomes. Gene mutation in autosomal chromosomes. What are the 2 types of chromosomes you have? Sex chromosomes and autosomal chromosomes. How many autosomal chromosomes? 44. How many sex chromosomes? 2. Altogether 46. Out of 46, first 44 autosomal chromosomes. Last 2 chromosomes, either XX or XY, they are sex chromosomes. So there are some diseases, inherited diseases or hereditary diseases or genetic disorders by the sex chromosomes. Some diseases caused by autosomal chromosomes. I'll go short note after this. First, I'll mark the answer. Yes, any volunteers? 20th MCQ? Let's see how many of you can remember the grade 10 last lesson. Nirasha, Natasha,
Third answer.
Nancy,
Third one.
Amadi.
Third one.
Yeah. Albinism and thalassemia. Very good. Answer is third. Very good. Correct. Question number 20. Answer is 3. I'll go a small short note. I think if you already know, no problem. Otherwise, the others you better copy down. Okay, wait. Before I move to that one, please raise the hand. Those who got all these correct grade 10 third term work, you can check whether you are okay. Please raise the hand before me. I mean, those who have done this at home, at least the first 20 MCQs, raise the hand. Those who got all these 20 correct. No one. Then raise the hand those who got at least 19 out of 20. 19 out of 20. Those who had done this alone, not my answers. Udamya, very good. From Manula, very good, excellent. Then Gagana also got right. 19, very good Gagana, right. Then please raise hand those who got 18 at least out of 20. 18. How many of you got 18 out of 20? Yes. Right. 5 students raise the hand. Imasha, Deyangi, Hansi, Chanul, Amadi. Right. Excellent. Good. Now raise the hand those who got 17 out of 20. How many of you got 17 out of 20? Natasha, Vihanga, Ketumi, Laksiluni and Dulansa. There are 5 students. Right. Good. At least 16. 16 now. Those who got 16 out of 20. Still what less than 20 students raise the hand below above 17. 17 above. Only 4 students raise the hand. 16 on like 16 out of 20, not 16 or above. 16 out of 20, exactly 16 out of 20. Imasha, Tashini, Nirasha, Imasha, we have right. And who else? Amandi. Right. Good. If we have got below 15, okay, last one. 15 out of 20. That is the last point. 15 out of 20. How many of you all got? Adesha Devmini, only Adesha. Right. So if you have got below 15, you have to study the grade 10 third term lessons from chapter 15 to 20 again. Chapter 15 to 20, please pay attention, because grade 10 you will definitely get nearly between 40 and 50% in the oral science paper. Right. Now essay type questions. Look at the screen. First one. Write down an instance where the forces act on a straight line in the same direction. Straight line in the same direction. That means same line of action and the same direction. Which figure? Yes, any volunteers? Which figure? Just one letter answer. Himasha? Vihanga?
B.
Damya?
A and D.
A and D. Okay, A and D. Are there any other volunteers? Amadi? Younger? Answer?
D.
D. Actually, straight line in the same direction. That is only a. It's a one like this pulling the fishing net. That is capital A, because in D it's not in the same line of action, right? It's different lines. It's not the same line of action. It's not collinear. That is capital A. Figure A. Write the examples where inclined forces at equilibrium. In which figure the forces are inclined and equilibrium. Inclined, that means something like this. Inclined forces. Yes. In which figure the inclined forces are acting. I'll ask the answer from Udamya, Himasha, Vihanga.
F.
It's F, right? Inclined forces are acting F. Figure F. Sometimes we call it non-parallel forces. What is the resultant of D? Yes, what is the resultant of D? Who can tell me the answer? Resultant of D? Himasha, Hanga, Damya.
300 newtons.
300 Newton.
Very good. It's 300 Newton. Very good. Excellent. Right. So you have to add, because both are in the same direction and parallel and same direction. You have to add. What is the tension of the force on the ropes of the swing? Tension. So it's 40 Newton. Actually, practically it's not possible, because yeah, it's small baby like 4 kilos one, then 40 Newton. Okay, 4 kilogram weight baby less than 6 months. Yeah, then it can be 4. So if you are keeping that baby on the swing, what will be the tension? Tension on one rope. Tension on the ropes of the swing. Actually, you can mark that if you want. Here, this side also there's a tension. This side also there will be a tension. So it's get divided if it is balanced. If they are parallel, this side the tension will be 20 Newton. This side the tension will be 20 Newton. So 40 gets divided among these two equally. So the tension of the swing will be, the ropes will be 20 Newton. Please raise the hand those who got 20 Newton. The part D, the answer. Right, very good. Very good. Then next part. I'll erase the screen. Write an example to show the moment of couple of forces. Yeah, couple, what are the instances where couple of forces acting out of these? You have to get the answer from this figure, right? Figure, which figure? The couple of forces. Couple of forces means what? Two forces,
B.
opposite, equal, and yes, very good, correct. So if you are going to turn the steering wheel, so this side you put forward and this side you put backward. So it's equal. If it is 10 Newton, this also will be 10 Newton. Equal, opposite, and parallel. That is called what? Couple of forces. Couple of forces. So the answer will be figure B. Figure B. So this is turning the steering wheel, or water tap, or screwdriver, or there are many other instances where we use a couple of forces. So the answer will be B, capital B. Next one, find the moment by AB when the seesaw is at equilibrium. Yes, any volunteers part F? Any volunteers part F? The seesaw at equilibrium, what is the moment? Turning effect. Yes? Who can tell me the answer for the last part? When it is at equilibrium, add an X, find the moment by A and B when the seesaw is at equilibrium. Vihanga, yes? Damya?
100 Newton meters.
Any other volunteers? 100 Newton meter. Yes. Any other volunteers? Sandali, others who didn't tell me. Vihanga?
50 Newton meters. 50 Newton meter.
Couldn't hear properly. Can you repeat again, Sandali? Who else? Vihanga?
50 Newton meters. 50 Newton meter.
Okay, some of you give 50, some of you give 100. Okay, this is important. When you take this kind of one, you have to take 4 meters altogether, because you can check the grade 10 textbook under resultant, you get under this equilibrium and the resultant, you get chapter 12, equilibrium of forces and the moment. Page number, be careful, this one, your grade 10 resultant, a couple of forces. Yeah, it's in page number 195 and 194. Please turn 194 and 195. You have to refer this if you find it difficult. Force into the perpendicular distance between the lines of action of two forces. Right. So if it is 0. So you get 100 Newton meter. 100 Newton meter. So you get the perpendicular distance between these two. Perpendicular distance between the line of action of two forces. If it is a couple of forces. So if it is a couple of forces, but here not couple of forces, because both the forces act in the same direction. Same direction. Then the resultant will be what? It's 0, right? Left side 50 and right hand side 50, then it will be 0. So therefore you have to be careful whether they are a couple of forces or whether they are in the same direction. Okay, then next part. Part 2. This one, how to find the moment. So this will be 10 into how? This type of one you have to find the moment. The perpendicular distance will be what? This will be 5 meters. And here 10 Newton. So you have to write 10 Newton into 5 meters. That is the moment. Then you get here 50 Newton meter. 50 Newton meter. That is the moment of forces here. Please raise the hand those who got the answer 50 Newton meter for the part 2. How many of you got? 50 Newton meter. That is the perpendicular distance between the lines of action of two forces. Perpendicular distance 5 meters. And the value of one, the force 10 Newton. Right, very good. Then the last part I'll discuss next day. And one more thing. Now last 2 weeks the papers, I want you to please, if you have not done, look at the screen. If you have not got this, please you can get that from your school teacher or someone. And if not, you can send a WhatsApp request message to this number. I'll forward. If there's no way, if you want, you can get from your friend. Those who couldn't join the last 2 weeks, revision paper 1 and 2, you can get from through your friend. You can get the soft copy or from your school. If not, you can send a request to this number with your name and the school and revision number 2 and 1. If you have not got 2729497, and you have to complete 3, 4, 5 of the revision number 2, because I'll be discussing that in the next class. Revision number 2, last 3 questions. Chemistry, 1 from chemistry, 1 from physics, right? And 1 from biology. 1 from bio, 1 from chemistry, and 1 from physics. That is from the previous one. And this paper, the small part is left. That one I'll discuss next day, because this session from 8:30 to 10:30. Now is 10:35. I'll stop for today. Must be having some other sessions in the school also. And hopefully we are planning to continue this next week also, depend on the situation, whether schools are going to open or not. Depend on that, we'll keep in touch. So have a good day and God bless you. We'll stop for today.